Hi everyone, thank you for tuning in to another Partner Spotlight. I love this point because I get a chance to lift the lid on partner businesses. We've worked with ChemiCloud for many, many years, and I'm joined today by Dragos from ChemiCloud, who's here to tell us a little bit more about his business, how it works, some of the challenges they're facing, some of the things that we'll be looking at perhaps, or they need to consider going into the future. So loads to talk about today. Thank you for being here. We're going to dive straight in. I think we should start by saying, Dragos, welcome to the chat. How are you doing?
Well, thank you so much for having me, James. I'm so happy to be here. And I'm thrilled to see how this is going to work and how this is going to be with the interview and the discussion about everything that you want to talk about.
Excellent. Good stuff. Well, I'm really glad you joined us. So tell me, how did you fall into this business? So the managed hosting provider space, did you just wake up one morning and think, right, that's where I need to be, managed hosting is my calling? Or is there another story to it? How did you get into it, and how did ChemiCloud come about?
Honestly speaking, web hosting specifically, it was just a part of something that I got in love with, like, I don't know, probably almost 20 years ago. When I started to create websites, it was pure HTML, CSS, and that's it, presentation websites. And fast forward, after doing this kind of freelance things, I was introduced by one of my friends to a company that at that point was hiring remote people to be in the web hosting industry. I got an interview, I got hired, and this is how the journey started. I worked for a couple of years there, but in like 2016, that company was acquired by a big one. There were more than 200 people that were laid off at that time. And that was the time when somebody found the best moment to start a web hosting company, because they had a lot of great workforce that were laid off. And this is how ChemiCloud started. And everything started with probably 6 or 7 people. That was the entire company. From, live chats, technical support, monitoring, everything. It was super, super small. But in 6 months to 1 year, we had more than 1,000 customers already. Things were getting busy. Those person started to ask for migration requests and support because something was broken because of an update with a plugin and things like that. And that was the moment when everything started to grow, and it was like a boom. We helped them.
Organic, was it? That was just organic growth then, was it? So
100% organic.
Incredible.
100% organic.
Incredible.
All of the budget was invested only in payroll and infrastructure. So no marketing. If somebody will hear that, will say, okay, this is probably insane because without marketing, you don't exist.
That's a marketer's nightmare, actually, Dragos,
Exactly.
to hear that. I don't know where it's come from or how it got there, but it's going great.
Yeah, well, I don't know what happened. I will be honest with you. I'm not a marketer, So everything started to grow super good because those 1,000 customers were getting so happy with the systems that they got. And they started to write on Reddit. They started to write on Facebook, on groups,
That's totally just a word of mouth effect then, isn't it?
Exactly. 100% word of mouth. And this is how everything started. And we began to have a department for customer services live chat, a department for technical support, a department for monitoring servers, department for engineering, product lead. Now we have, and we do marketing, affiliates, and so on. So
tell me, so when you talk about your clients, who is it exactly? So in an ideal world, I imagine the profile has changed since you first sort of started the business or got involved. Today, who is your ideal client, and how do you help them, and why are they a good fit?
Honestly speaking, I don't think it's changed over the years. I still think that the majority of our clients are small to medium businesses. This is the core customers, so to say, at ChemiCloud. And I've seen that most of them are those kind of persons that have a business for 1 or 2 years, and they just got super tired of having technical issues and having to spend time to take care of those things. And at some point, they just want to find a web hosting company that is going to take care of those things for them. And I think those are the core customers of ChemiCloud.
Do you see anything stand out in the way of kind of like perhaps sectors or even like technologies they're using, or kind of who you try and sort of talk to? Is it mainly developers? Is there anything that sort of stands out within that SMB space?
Well, if I will give you some trends in regards to those clients, most of them are having, and basically are hosting with us because they have online stores. So this is the trend. And probably the majority of them are using WordPress, which WooCommerce, this is what they are using. And the biggest problems that they haven't come to us to get fixed is the performance of their website, and the second one is the security of the website. Obviously, we do our best and try to fix those problems for them. I mean, we're using some kind of a stack based on Lightspeed web server that gives amazing performance, and this is a boost for them. And for security, we also use some in-house developed firewall and also some commercial products that are basically scanning the websites 24/7, and every time something is found, it's just cleaned. And if it's not major, the client is not even notified or bothered. You know, we try to be proactive and try to keep that customers to focus on the business and to grow their business and do our thing under the curtain in a very silent way, but keep them happy, keep the site online and secure.
Okay, yeah, and those things are so important. So tell me, we're in obviously a very crowded marketplace in terms of managed hosting providers. Lots of companies out there. So you touched on a few things there about what your approach is. What really makes you different then when someone's kind of summarizing up the various options available to them? What is it that makes you unique? How do you get a competitive advantage these days?
Mm-hmm. I'm not going to say that we're doing a lot and we are 100% different, because it's not true. What we do different, it's the amazing customer services that we're offering to our clients. The experience they get from day one when they purchase the product until they migrate the website, they need to upgrade the package and so on. So we try to make things in such a natural way with them by talking with them exactly like we talk with a friend. We try to avoid any kind of corporatist emails or notification. We try to be super transparent and friendly. And I think this is the main and the most important thing that we do, and people hear about it and come to us and migrate over.
That's interesting. So that's something that so many companies are try to do. Obviously, as you grow, it can be so hard to maintain that kind of that golden personal level of service that you might have had in the early days. So trying to get it to scale is tricky. Is there anything? I mean, obviously, this is one of your areas. So, is there anything you put in place, do you think, that helps you kind of sort of scale that, or anything that you put in place that other companies watching this could think, oh, okay, actually, yeah, maybe we could do that to sort of level up the level of service that we offer?
Well, it is challenging, and it's super complicated to scale this kind of customer services. And it's a challenge for us because every time we hire new people, we basically have to tell them something like, well, you have to forget everything you've done by now, because from today, you're going to do things differently.
That's all the bad habits, is it? All the bad habits are going out the window, yeah, and it's exactly. The ChemiCloud way.
Exactly. So most of them are coming for super big companies with lots of policies and lots of corporatist things and rules, and it's super robotic. It's rigid, they are not natural. And what we try to do in the first month of training, we try to explain them that, hey, look, you have to be natural, because every person, this is the beauty of humans. Everybody is different, and you have something that it's going to be super appreciated and likable by some of our customers. You're going to have that kind of chemistry with them. So just be you. Don't be just a number 10 employee. Just be you. If, just do your things. There are days when you are not in a very good mood. Of course, you're not going to just be super bad with the clients, but if it is a bad day, probably they will feel it by the way you talk with them. It's normal because we are humans, we're not robots. And this is the main thing that we try to do. And you ask, okay, how you scale up this? Well, it's very challenging. We're trying to do this by creating some kind of a base formula. I mean, a small team in the company that is going to basically nurture everybody that comes new to the company. And this way, when somebody joins the company, the other guys are going to explain to them how we do things here and so on. And every time, and this way, we're able to scale these things because the team is going to train and nurture the newcomers. It doesn't matter how many.
I think this is a really interesting area because so many businesses could benefit from, not necessarily using like the canned email responses and trying to get some personality across, but it's quite a tricky thing to do, isn't it? Do you do anything? Do you sort of look at responses and do you check in occasionally? Is that part of the process, or is it more just a kind of a one-to-one check-in that you do with people? How do you know that everyone's sort of, first of all, getting that human side across, but then also maybe not just being like super depressing all the time or something along those lines? How do you check in any way?
Well, yes, I'm not personally doing this for everybody, but we have a quality assurance department. This is the way I'm calling it. And basically there are people that are keeping an eye on chats, on tickets, and see what everybody is doing and how is doing. And we have an internal system which is called Base. And in that internal system, we give them heads up on tickets or chats if we see things that were not handled in our way. And we try to give them just like a friendly heads up. Hey, look, you worked on this ticket and you said that. Probably you could say it in a more, friendly way, because it's clear the customer doesn't have any kind of technical knowledge. Even if your answer, your reply, it's very good from a technical perspective, that person pretty much is going to be skeptical because they don't understand the terminology, so to say. So probably next time you could try to be a bit more, friendly, use super simple words. And yes, we keep an eye on things, chats, tickets, probably not on all of them, but more than 50% of them are checked. We also have a couple of internal systems. When things are getting wrong, we get notified from help desk or live chat, so we can be proactive in a way and try to save the situation. But yes, we're keeping an eye on everything that's happening, and we try to give friendly heads up to everybody. And, it's a slow process. They understand the things and how we do them, and the next tickets are going to be even better, next chats even better, and so on.
I think that is a lesson for a lot of service providers, because it's not an easy thing to do, to be constantly on top of that. And if you want to get that continued word of mouth, it's those experiences that travel, isn't it? I'm interested to know. So in terms of trying to sort of acquire new customers, then how do you do it these days? So you had that golden era when everyone just flooded through the door because you existed and you're doing a great job. As we said, it's quite competitive now. What are the sort of strategies that you're using? How does your kind of your marketing mix look then? What activities are you doing to bring in new customers now?
Mm-hmm. Well, at this moment, ChemiCloud, even at this point, gets most of the clients organically and from the word of mouth. We have a system at this moment when we get notified every time somebody on the internet posts our name or our URL. And not sure if it's instant, but has some delay. And we constantly get alerts about people talking about us without being an affiliate or something. They just talk about us saying, okay, I've heard of them and I'm using them and they're awesome. So it's clear that the word of mouth continues to work for us. And this is the result of doing our best every time for every kind of issue. It doesn't matter the gravity of the situation. But even if organic is still the biggest niche of our of the way we acquire new customer, there is a very important portion of the market that comes to us through affiliates. And this is a very big subject to talk about, and I would just give a couple of ideas about it. So when we talk about affiliates, we don't talk only about just a person that has a blog and writes about different stuff and just say, okay, I'm using ChemiCloud, you can maybe use it as well because it's good. We talk about those kind of affiliates that basically created a business from their websites. They just take a lot of time, they have technical knowledge, they test the service from multiple aspects, from uptime, customer services, time of response, and a lot of other factors. They do the heavy lifting, and after that, just they post, 3,000 or 6,000 words review, which is super helpful for people, and they recommend the service if it's good. And that is basically the biggest niche in the industry when you talk about affiliates in the web hosting industry. And yes, we also have this kind of calls with businesses that have this kind of website, and we invite them to test our services, and did they consider it's good enough to review them, become our affiliate, and recommend it to other people.
Wow. Okay. So affiliates really are a major part then, aren't they? So are these that's interesting. So there's people writing blog articles. Do you see much in the way of like if you were to say, right, okay, this is the ideal affiliate profile. Is it a YouTuber as well? Is it someone that's just doing your stuff? Is it the kind of comparisons against other providers? I mean, you mentioned performance testing. I guess that's a really good area. What do the best affiliates look like? Is it mainly blogs content?
Well, no, you actually said the very, very important part of this industry, and you said about YouTube people that review the services there. I want to say that most of the time, people that are doing affiliate marketing for web hosting and they are having a website, they also have a YouTube channel. So every time they create an article, they also create a YouTube video in which they explain all of those things they wrote in the article. So probably I'm not able to give you the perfect or the most important affiliate. All of them are good, you know? I mean, even if it's just a small blog.
Particularly if they're watching, if any affiliates are watching of ChemiCloud, then you're all equally important.
Exactly. I mean, for me personally and for ChemiCloud as a company, if we have like one client, one affiliate that becomes our client, it's happy with the service, and they decide to become our affiliate and recommend our services, and they bring us one customer a year, it's equally important compared to a person that has a business from this and brings us, let's say 10 clients a month. It's exactly the same importance. Why? Well, first of all, because the first affiliate recommend the service to their friends from the word of mouth. They are not making money from this industry, but they are making a very, personal recommendation. And for us, it's like a responsibility for that. And we want that client to be happy because that client that they recommended could be the next year big affiliate. But in the same time, we also want to work with the big guys because they have a massive traffic on their website and they have the ability to recommend the perfect fit service for a certain client that is in search for something, let's say for Drupal, for WordPress, or any other CMS. So we're not making any kind of difference, and every affiliate, it's treated exactly the same. It doesn't matter the traffic or the conversion that they are doing.
So, Dragos, you're a lovely guy. ChemiCloud, very reputable company. Again, these guys have a lot of choice. How do you persuade them? I mean, there's obviously talking to them nicely and saying, please. Does it come down to sort of kickbacks and things? I mean, I think this affiliate side of things is a really, really interesting area. What determines who they go for?
The way we attract them is, of course, first of all, because we're going to offer a service that is super good and they are not going to get bad reputation for recommending us, but also because we're offering them great commissions. Depending on the way they present the product, depending on the audience they have, I have this kind of calls with them and I try to find the best commission for both parts. For us as a company, which is a long-term investment, and for them as an affiliate that they are making money recommending other companies as well. So again, this is life. Some of them accept and say, okay, let's do it. Some of them just say no. It's not always a great business opportunity for them. I mean, there are people saying that, okay, ChemiCloud is very good, but I'm not going to recommend you right away because at this moment I'm recommending a different company which pays me more. So I try to understand them because exactly as you said, at the end of the day, we all get bills, and have families and we must to make money. We're not going to recommend a bad service, but maybe there are companies paying more. So I try to understand them, say, okay, continue your campaign with that company. There is absolutely no problem. Just give me a heads up when, I don't know, maybe you will finish the campaign with them because I really want to appear on your videos, on your website. And most of the time it happens. It not happens right away, but in 6 months, 8 months, it happens.
I think affiliates is a fascinating area. So we're a fair way through our chat, and we've not talked really about the tech at all. So I'm interested to know, with it kind of, obviously tech is rapidly evolving at the moment. There's an awful lot in the cloud space. Is there anything, what have you got your eye on in the way of sort of technology trends, would you say, that you need to be on top of in terms of what your customers are asking for, or, what's going to keep you at the forefront for the years ahead?
Well, that's a very good question. And I'm going to answer it. Maybe other companies are also thinking on that. I think in the shared web hosting industry, the product that people are asking for more and more, and is going to become a trend in the next couple of years, is going to be that pay-as-you-go custom-made package. I mean, at this moment, 99% of the shared web hosting companies are selling those pre-built packages. Like, okay, package 1, it's a small one, package 2, package 3, and you have a certain amount of resources allocated, and that's it. This is shared web hosting.
Is that just kind of, you do it yourself, is it? Is that where you basically spin up a server and you could just install WordPress yourself or whatever?
Exactly. And I'm speaking about what's next and where ChemiCloud wants to be, because, technology evolves. One of the things that we think it's this kind of product. So the customer is going to join the website and being able to select to create the package they want, in regards to disk space, CPU, memory, and so on, and not pre-built. I mean, not like, okay, I want 2 CPUs. I cannot get less than 4 gigs of memory, because most of the companies, even if leave you the opportunity to change and select the specs, they still limit you in terms of, okay, if you get 2 CPUs, you get 4 gigs of RAM. If you get 4 CPU, you get 8 gigs of RAM. I mean, you're not having the liberty to select exactly. And this is, I think, the product that is going to be something that is going to change the shared web hosting industry. A couple of companies are already launching this kind of product, but as I said, it's not 100% flexible yet. And ChemiCloud is working on this, and we hope probably next year to be able to launch this kind of product. This is the main demand, and this is something that can be done only if you have a provider like ChemiCloud works with Akamai, with you guys, because you offer this kind of pool of clouds and machines that we can use and adapt to this kind of requests.
Every company is looking to drive down costs and get hold of their, cost efficiencies, and I guess that ties in quite closely. You mentioned that golden term, AI. We've not talked about that recently much. Let's we have to throw it in there. So, how is AI impacting your business? Tell me. Obviously, you've got a big emphasis. We were talking about customer service earlier on. Obviously, it can play a big role there. You tell me. Are you implementing anything in the way of AI? Anything planned?
Well, I'm laughing because lately, most of the companies that talk about AI in customer services are getting a bad reputation, and I don't know why. Because, people are getting afraid that, okay, robots are going to take over and we're going to lose our jobs. Well, I'm here to say that at ChemiCloud, this is not going to happen. I mean, I'm a very big fan of AI. And not because I liked the science fiction movies and with robots and, the Terminator, but because I see that AI can help our lives. AI can make things that we need like 3 minutes to do can do it in like 3 seconds. And it's not here to replace us, especially not at ChemiCloud, but it is here to help us and make us more productive. And just to give you an example, with AI at this moment, in customer services, if you're having a ticket that has like, I don't know, 50 replies, and it's open for like 30 days because some sort of technical thing, a human needs more than 20 minutes to read all of those replies and see what happened there and what the problem could be and what the other colleagues did and so on. With AI now, you can summarize everything in just a few seconds, get the ideas, and do the thing, you know? So basically, AI just help you to travel in time. Basically, you did something that takes you 20 minutes in just like 1 minute. And this is what we're trying to implement at ChemiCloud in the next months or maybe 1 or 2 years. We try to help the people that are working in customer services, in live chat, on tickets, to get AI as their friend, their smart friend that is able to summarize things, to understand things, to understand different languages. Because, you know, web hosting is not only in English. There are many other countries, right? So, yes, AI is part of...
You're a thumbs up, aren't you, Dragos, for this?
Yes.
I can tell.
AI,
So, I mean,
it is part of ChemiCloud at this moment on the back office. It's not on the front end yet, but pretty much in the next years it's going to be.
Listen, it's been amazing chatting to you. Do you want to give me just a quick, or give the audience an idea of where they can find you or where they can learn more about ChemiCloud? Consider this your kind of blatant plug.
People can join ChemiCloud.com, obviously, and contact us right away in a live chat and ask us questions there if they don't want to read about us or the company. But also, if anyone wants to talk about ChemiCloud or any kind of affiliate opportunities or business opportunities, they can always reach me out. On LinkedIn, they can find me by just searching my name, or on email, which is dragos@chemicloud.com. And if you want, you can bring that into the description of this video as well. I have absolutely no problem. And no worries, I have a very good spam filter, so I'm not going to be bombed with spam emails.
Thanks, Dragos. It's been a pleasure talking to you. Really have enjoyed it, and there's been loads of nuggets of wisdom in there that have helped our audience. So I really appreciate you joining us, and I look forward to talking to you again soon.
Well, James, it was amazing as well. I hope I was able to answer all of the questions that you had. It was an amazing interview. It's clear that you are a professional in this field, and I really hope next year we'll be able to have another this kind of interview, because pretty much we're going to have some new things, probably a new product, and maybe talk a bit more about AI and how we integrated that.
Let's do that. If it hasn't killed us all, we'll absolutely do that. Listen, you take care. Thanks very much. Bye for now.